Hello everyone, my name is Amy Pollock. First, I would like to thank you on behalf of the organizers of this summit for being here. I am from Edmonton and I am your co-MC for the 6th and final summit in our series.
And I am the other co-MC, Heath Burkles, and I also happen to be from Edmonton. We would like to begin this summit with a land acknowledgement from Amy Park.
We respectfully acknowledge that we are on treaty land. We acknowledge all of the many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit whose footsteps have marked these lands for centuries. Thank you.
To begin with, we want to make this meeting as accessible as possible for everyone. We ask you to shut off your video and mute your audio while you aren't speaking, so it is easier for the other people attending to either see the ASL interpreter or so that we can see, so that we can all hear who is speaking or see what is being said. To do this, move your mouse so that the pointer, or use your finger if you are on a tablet or phone, and move the pointer to the bottom of your screen. A row of pictures and words will appear. This is the toolbar. On the left side of the toolbar, there are symbols that look like a video camera, as well as a microphone.
Click on the video camera with your mouse pointer, or on a tablet or phone, touch with your finger the video camera icon. This shuts off your video and shows a red line across the video camera. You can do the same thing for the microphone icon to turn it off, and it will mute the sound from your location. When you need to speak, you can click on or touch the microphone icon again to be heard. If you have problems doing these things, our moderators can help guide you to turn your video and audio on and off. Also, if you are calling into this meeting by phone, press *6 to turn your audio on and off. This helps make sure we can hear the MC and presenters better.
If you have any difficulties with our instructions, please message one of our moderators. You can do this by going to the toolbar at the bottom of the screen to click on chat. The chat space will appear on the right side of your screen. On the bottom, there is a space where you can type your message, your question. The moderator will see it and try to help you out.
We are joined by ASL interpreter Deb Russell from Flick for those who need ASL for their summit. If you need ASL, please look for ASL interpreter Deb Russell on the participant list. To see the participant list, put your mouse pointer on the toolbar at the bottom of your screen and click on or touch participant. The name of the participant will appear just above the chat box.
If you see it, to make sure the ASL interpreter is always on your screen, put your mouse pointer on the upper right corner of the picture of Deb Russell. You will see a blue box with 3 dots. Click on it and then click on the word pin. Once you have pinned your screen to Deb Russell, you will always see the interpreter on your screen.
The summit will also be closed captioned and recorded. If you do not want to be on the recording, make sure to turn off your video, as we will be sharing this recording on the AACT YouTube channel. We have a closed captioner from KLM who has provided a link to activate the live closed captioning. We sent out the closed captioning link with the Zoom link for this meeting. The link to the closed captioning is also located in the chat.
If we could ask everyone here to open the participants list in the toolbar on the bottom of your screen. Then please raise your virtual hand to say you know the meeting is being recorded. To do that, click your mouse pointer or touch the blue hand that says raise hand under the participants list on the right side of your screen. If you called by phone, press *9 on your telephone to raise your hand.
This will also be the way to let the host and moderator know you have something to say, and we will add your name to the speakers list.
And if I could get the host to clear the hands so that we can get this started.
Thank you, everyone.
As today's summit is on self-advocacy and you, we have the honor of listening to discussions from experienced advocates who will be teaching us about speaking up and having a say and why working together makes us more powerful. Our first speaker is Kathleen Biersdorf of Albertans Advocating for Change Together, or AACT.
Thank you. Self-advocacy is about speaking up for what is important to you. When you speak up, you become a leader. If you have something important to say and say it well, people listen and things change. If you do not speak up, things just stay the same or get worse. As a self-advocate on your own, there are many things you can do to have a say. You can vote or get involved with a political party. You can sign a petition or start one. You can fill in a government survey when they ask. You can write a letter or email to the government or news media. You can take part in a community consultation with the government or meet privately with someone in government. You can make a speech to government in a public meeting, or you can be on a committee with government. We're not going to talk about voting because that's a whole other talk and a little too long for today. But I would like to talk about how to get involved with a political party, because it can be a good idea to join a political party. If you join a party, you get a say in who will be its leader. If it wins the election, you've helped pick the leader of the government. You also get a say in what the party thinks government should do. This is called the party platform. It's actually easy to join a party. You fill in a form and pay about $5 for the year. You can do this online, by mail, or at the closest party office. The form asks for your name, address, phone number, and which riding you are in, which is easy to find out. And the online form will also ask you for your email address. Once you're a party member, you can go to party meetings, some online these days, and many of the meetings are free. Now, some dinners are fundraisers that cost a lot of money, but you don't have to go to these. You can go to party meetings and tell your story to the other party members and leaders so that they understand what life is like for you. You can ask party leaders and candidates what they'll do about issues that are important to you, and also help them make good choices. You can also volunteer to help the party with meetings, events, and elections, so you can tell your story and what you think to other helpers and the people there. Now, there are some things you may not know about being a party member. First of all, you don't actually have to agree with what the party platform is in order to be a party member. You only have to agree with them if you run for office for that party. You also don't have to vote for the party you belong to in elections. It's a secret ballot and you can vote any way you want. And third, even though some parties say you can't, you can be a member of 2 or more parties at the same time. This is useful if several parties are electing new leaders in the same year. There are lots of other ways to make your say count. You must contact the right level of government and the person for what you want to change. If you talk to the wrong government or the wrong person, they'll tell you to try someone else. and that's frustrating and a waste. The other rule is the more time and work it takes, the more difference it makes. Now, politicians know how much work different actions take and use that to tell them how important it is to you. So here are some things you can do. The easiest are at the bottom and the hardest are at the top of that blue list. So first is petitions. So how much time does it really take to sign a petition? Have you ever signed someone's petition because you like them, but the topic of the petition was not important to you? Many people do this and politicians know it. It takes more time to do a survey or to write a letter from scratch. Some people just sign a form letter to send to government. These do not have much effect, but a good personal letter does. Community consultations are a way for government to hear from a lot of people directly. So you can look leaders in the eye and on one-to-one basis, and you can say what you think. Private meetings are good because they're also personal, and government people can find out more about how the issue affects you. A speech is the same, but to more people at once. Now, speaking in public is hard for some people, so government understands this. They recognize how hard it is. Being on a government committee has the most impact because you meet with the government often, and the meetings can each be several hours long. Government people then get to know you personally and care about your life and how issues affect it. This can make them want to change things so that your life is better. Working together as part of a self-advocacy group can be a good way to speak up and lead to change without having to do everything yourself. Groups do everything an individual self-advocate can do and lots more, like organize a town hall meeting like the one we did on AACT last week. We sent the ideas from that meeting without anyone's name to a lot of people in government. Groups have active Facebook groups or pages to share ideas and information and get the word out about plans and actions related to issues. Some groups make podcasts and videos for YouTube, their website, or Facebook. These are good because you don't have to read well to learn from them, and you can hear real people's voices. Groups are better than individuals at getting the attention of media to share their stories and concerns. They do this with news releases sent to media and follow up with finding group members to do interviews. And they can organize public rallies and marches when it's safe to do so. The good thing about speaking up in a group is that you can do it anonymously. And that is good if you're afraid government will try to get back at you for criticizing them. A lot of people with disabilities feel that way about speaking up about AACT. You can also have a stronger voice for change when there are more people speaking up together. Sometimes self-advocacy groups join with other advocacy groups to have a louder voice on shared concerns. And finally, it can be very discouraging to keep telling government the same thing over and over, like about the need for plain language. Change sometimes comes very slowly. In a group, it's easier to find someone to cheer you up when you're down or feeling helpless. Now, things have changed with COVID-19, even though people still make petitions, do surveys, write letters, make podcasts, work together, and hold public meetings. But now they do all of these things online. We all miss our face-to-face meetings, but there are some good things about working together online. We can meet even in bad weather when we don't want to go outside. We don't have to find a way to get to the meeting, and getting to an online meeting takes no time at all. And the best thing is that you can work with groups anywhere in Alberta or meet with self-advocates all over the world. During COVID-19, many of us have met with more self-advocates than ever before, and we're doing so much. You just need to find the group or groups that care about the same things as you and get involved. Now, at this point, I'll be turning things back over to the MCs so we can find out what a few of the self-advocacy groups around the province are working on, and you can ask questions. If these groups are not working on what's important to you, they probably know who is and how to reach them.
Thank you for that, Kathleen. Next, the various self-advocacy group will talk to us on their work in advocacy and how we can get involved and make our voices heard. Each group will have 3 minutes to talk about their organization. First, we will hear from the Self-Advocacy Federation based in Edmonton, and we have Julie Heffel. Julie?
Hi. Yes, I'm with the Self-Advocacy Federation. We do all sorts of things, and recently we've done more than ever before. We're on a collective group working on promoting a basic income. We have released a podcast that is on YouTube and on our shiny new website. It's wonderful that we get to do all these things. So yes, we are based out of Edmonton, but we've been able to talk to a lot of people around Alberta. We joined with the Disability Action Poll on almost a regular basis these days. Which is based out of Alberta.
Okay. Thank you, Julie. Next, we will hear from the Health Region Health Advocacy Network. That would be Anna and Kelly.
Hi there, and Gwen should be present. Gwen Rowley, actually. I hope she's on this call. She should be.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. You didn't know. But I don't see her, so maybe just give me a second.
Oh,
Anna, I'm here. Anna, I'm here.
Okay, so I'll let Gwen talk, and I'll fill in any gaps. Thanks, Amy.
Can I start my video?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Oh, it's not showing me. What's going on here? Anyway, oh, there I am. I'm Gwen Raleigh, and I belong to SURSAN, which stands for South Region Self-Advocacy Network. We're out of Lethbridge. We do different things during the year when it's a normal year. When it's a normal year, we do, in the fall, we do our citizen walkabout. What else do we do? I can't. Oh my gosh. We've had conferences before on different topics and have speakers come every 2 or 3 years. Lately, we've been doing Zoom meetings, of course, like everybody else. We've been talking about trying to get age to change back to the 25th instead of the 1st. We are going to be doing letter writings, and there was talk about doing videos to send. Anna, correct me if I think it's to say why we need AISH to be different and what our experiences are with AISH. And you can contact Anna Olson at our phone number 403-320-1515, or we have our SURSAN Facebook page, and I think we're on Twitter as well. And I guess we have worked with other groups too. We've been to conferences. We did the ACT conference when it was at Grant McEwen a few years back. We do fundraisers, not so much right now, but when it gets back to normal. So if you have any questions, you can phone Anna at 403-320-1515. Thank you. Did I do okay? I hope. So I'm done.
You did okay from my point of view. Anna, is there anything you wanted to add? Or?
No, I think the only thing I wanted to add was that we do work across the South region. Not many people know that. And so we do connect with all those communities, but we also connect with people across the province as well through ACT and through other things that we do.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Wonderful. Okay, you did great, Glenn. Thank you guys so much. Next we're gonna hear from the Disability Action Hall, Colleen and Mary.
Good morning, everyone. I'm a member of the Disability Action Hall, and we work on lots of things. So we work on relationships and networking, disability pride and culture, having enough money for all, a home for all, and then services that we need. And so here today, Mary's just going to talk a lot about one of our areas of focus, which is relationships. Mary?
Hi everyone, just had to take myself off mute. So yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about relationships. One of the things that we talk about in the hall is that people with disabilities often don't have the ability or don't have encounter barriers when it comes to having relationships. And one of the things that I did recently was what they call a zine, which I don't think you guys can see, but it is it's going to be in the chat right afterwards. It's a self-published magazine that talks about the different barriers people with disabilities face about relationships. What I like about it is that because it's published by the person that wants to write it and they have full control of it, you can give it easily to a politician. You can give it easily to the public without being censored and all that. And that's just one of the creative ways that you can do that. There's a lot of other ways, like rallies and other things, and the hall has done all that stuff. On Colleen?
So we're also joined by Brad and Lloyd and Colleen. I didn't know if you wanted to turn on your video and just wave, or if you had anything to add.
Yeah, hello, Colleen. And I like to say, Colleen, yeah, we do a lot of different work. We done a lot of rallies over the year of Disability Action Now, and the group is in Disability Action Now is great self-advocacy. We do a lot of self-advocate for people with disability. We do a lot of good work. And we've been to Aberdeen 5 or 6 times during Action Now over the years, and we've done good work. We meet with lots of different people, lots of different advocacy across Alberta, and we've done a lot of good work. So thank you, Carly. Yeah.
Thanks, Lloyd. And Colleen, did you want to say hi or?
Yeah, my name is Colleen Peters, and I've joined the Disability Action Hall. I met Colleen at a women's center workshop, and she came in as a guest speaker, and I was like, thank you so much for the bus pass, with the low income bus pass. I use mine all the time. And she said, oh, you should come join us. So I did. And it's been good. I've been learning how to be a self-advocate. And I'm just going to start a letter writing campaign for AACT to change back to 90 days of being in the hospital before you cut you off. Currently, it's 30 days. And with my illness, I usually go to the hospital for 2 or 3 months. So I would be in danger of losing my home or not making my payments or paying for my cat. And that is like stressful for me. So I'm hoping to, to learn how to advocate more for that change.
Thanks, Colleen and Lloyd and Mary. Well, back to you, Amy and Heath.
Hi, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, there's Brad.
Hey, Brad. Thank you very much, Disability Action Hall and Colleen. Next, we're going to hear from Voice of Albertans with Disabilities, and that would be Michelle. Michelle Bissell.
Yeah, thank you, Amy. Hi, everyone. My name is Michelle Bissell. I'm the Education Coordinator for Voice of Albertans with Disabilities. Just a brief background before I get into our services. In 1973, Alberta Committee of Citizens with Disabilities, or AACT, was formed to foster an attitude that would encourage people with disabilities to overcome social and physical barriers that hindered their ability to participate fully in society. As a consumer-based, cross-disability, and cross-province, ACC speaks from the perspective of people with disabilities who are better able through our efforts to be equal members of society. And 4 years ago, it was renamed Voice of Albertans with Disabilities. So I'm going to go over some of our services. So our Disability Awareness Program. The goal of our presentations is to break the barriers to accessibility and inclusion by creating awareness and understanding about people living with disabilities. We educate individuals, organizations, legislators, schools, decision makers, and employers about disability issues through presentations such as Disability Awareness Presentation, Registered Disability Savings Plan, RDSP, Accessibility Assessments. We consult, and there's information services and non-partisan election campaigns. So we do have support and referral, and our resource staff provides support and referral services to people with disabilities, their families, and advocates. We complete application forms for various resources such as ACE, CPPD, income support, subsidized housing, and we also do income tax during income tax season. And all these services are free. We don't charge for filling out the forms. And we have project and research. So we provided in-depth analysts that concerns that affect the disability community. The materials generated enhance our understanding of specific disability issues and assist us with advocating for change. Some of the projects that we've completed already are accessible dental, eye care, and pharmacy service in Alberta, and barrier-free health and mental service and medical service in Alberta, and of course raising disability awareness in Alberta schools. And those are only but a few. We have collaboration and partnerships. So our slogan, "Together we hold the power," reflects our commitment to developing effective dynamic partnerships with like-minded organizations and individuals. We also have bursaries. Our Education for Life bursary provides financial assistance to people with disabilities that want to go to post-secondary, such as the University, Grant MacEwan, NAIT, and they all have to qualify for this bursary. Accessibility assessments is one of our newer services. Accessibility assessments are available to anyone who is interested in ensuring complete access to their building services and opportunities. And usually it's renovations or a new build. And I'll put our contact info in the chat. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Michelle, Voice of Albertans with Disabilities. Next, we want to invite any organization or health advocacy group that are on the call right now that haven't spoken the opportunity to speak. So if there's anybody, please turn on your microphone.
Any other self-advocacy groups?
One, I'll speak, but I know. Hello?
Yeah.
Hi, Brad.
Hello, Julia.
Hi. I could say hi quickly from Central Alberta region, Etana. We are a self-advocacy group in Red Deer, Alberta. Yeah, we educate, we have peer workshops, we attend AACT meetings. There's only a couple of us at this time, but it is growing. We support personal growth, and we have some peer, we not only teach peer workshops, we also take the peer workshops. The individuals here lead the services that they receive, and they participate fully in the agency. And yeah, we're working on getting valued roles in the community. We talk a lot about the political decision making that is going on at this time, and write letters to MLAs, and good stuff is happening as we make it through these times. So hello, everybody.
Thank you, Julia.
So much. Are there any other advocacy groups that are attending right now who would like to mention about your community? Yes, Nicholas? Hello, Tony.
Hi, Thomas. How's everybody doing? I thought I'm not officially supposed to speak, but you guys know me. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. But I'm here. I'm always supportive of the work of the Self-Advocates. I just want to say hello. If you guys have any questions, I'm here.
Tony, can you just tell us who you are, just in case there's people that don't know who you are?
Oh, okay. Thanks. All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Tony Flores. I'm the disability advocate in Alberta. And by the way, kudos to whoever organized this summit. It's well done. I'm quite impressed. And I always enjoy attending and participating in the summit. So well done, guys. Yeah, what I do is, I'm the first disability advocate appointed in Alberta. I'm mandated to represent the rights, interests, and viewpoints of Albertans with disabilities. There's three things that I do. One is through individual resolutions. So people call my office needing supports to help, for instance, navigate, find the resources that they need. And the second piece I do is I also do education, promoting the importance of inclusion and accessibility. And the third piece is that, we also identify systemic issues, and I bring those forward to the government for them to understand what the systemic issues are, and hoping to bring some changes to these issues. My website is disability.advocate@gov.ab.ca, and the telephone number is 780-422-1095. And I don't have the 1-800 number with me. I'm sorry, but I have submitted the annual report. It's now in the website, so please check it out. And there is a video version of that annual report to make sure it's accessible to everyone. That should be posted sometime this week or the following. So please bear with me. It's a pretty cool website, pretty cool video. So thank you very much for having this opportunity.
Thank you, Tony.
You bet.
Yeah, apparently my co-MC Heath Burkholt has something to add from the Premier's Council on the status of persons with disabilities. Heath?
So I just realized, even though it isn't entirely related directly with self-advocacy, the majority of the what helps direct the Premier's Council, which I am a new part of, I think that it would be important to mention what we do as a council and how our self-advocacy communities charges and directions that they go really advise as to how we can help advise the government. So to just give a short explanation, what our council does is that the Premier's Council on the Status of Persons with Disabilities, also known as the Council, is an advisory body of the government of Alberta. The council's role is to provide advice regarding equal opportunities for persons with disabilities to reach their full potential and to engage the life of the province. This is accomplished by listening to Alberta's diverse disability community. The council believes Alberta is an inclusive and barrier-free society. And I'm not going to go too heavily into it, but I just thought that that would be an important area that you can look towards. And I will also put down our website so that it can be another opportunity for, depending on where you live, that it could be another area that may be able to help you finding self-advocacy communities near you. Okay, now
Thanks
I'm
so
going
much, Heath.
again. Sorry?
No, I just said thank you. Thank you. Okay, so if we have no other health advocacy group wishing to speak,
Then
we'll carry on.
Which goes straight back to me, no longer having that on. Thank you to all of our presenters, and we would now like to ask them questions, which can be provided by anyone at this summit, and add to the discussion. If you wish to ask a question, click on the blue hand under the participants list, or type it into the chat menu that you want to ask a question.
Mary posted in the chat a document on how to stay connected over the holiday with others and lots of free events. So if you'd like to click on that, it could probably open in another window and you could save that as well.
And that will also be available on the email as well. Kelly and Anna have their hand up. And then Lloyd.
I'm just starting the video. You can partially see me. I'll try and move around, but social distancing in my office makes it kind of challenging. But the virtual event kind of triggered something, is that Sarsan is hosting an online Christmas party on December 16th and from 10 till noon, and it's open to anyone that wants to join in. We have had some registrations coming in from across the province, but I just want to let people know. And the kinds of things that we're planning on doing is like a Name That Tune Christmas edition, a karaoke or sing along. Mark and I are doing a Christmas reading, which we have no idea what that will be. And we're encouraging people to dress festive and just enjoy some social time together. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Lloyd, you also had your hand up.
Okay, that's perfect.
I go ahead now?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Okay. What I want to talk about is hidden disability. You know, hidden disability, like what the Creamer said, is like lots of people with disability, but they don't want to come out and open and tell about the disability. You try hide the disability, right? That you got, like me, my hidden disability is learning disability, right? I cannot read that good, and I try to hide it so many years, but now I try to be open with it. And you know, people with all kinds of hidden disability, I think you should come out and open with it and let people know what kind of disability you got. Because if you keep hiding the disability, you feel bad you got the disability, but you don't know how to talk about it or how to speak about this disability. So I think anyone got this disability should come out and open and let people know about the disability, and you feel a lot better about it. So thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Lloyd. I have a couple comments in the chat. First of all, Colleen said that event, Anna, sounds like fun, but they would like to know how to register for the event. And that's the virtual Christmas party.
Sure. So you can contact me to register, and I'll be sending out the link either the day before or the morning of. So it's near the top of people's emails. And so you can contact me with my email address, and maybe I'll send it to one of the moderators so they can post it in the chat so that people can have it. That's the best way to register.
Thank you, Anna. And also, Mary Helvani wanted to say something. Mary?
I just wanted to say too that the Cerebral Palsy is also hosting a countdown to Christmas, which is a 4-week Christmas party that happens every Saturday. They're doing one activity every week. This week they're doing baking as their activity. They're baking cookies, and I'm just going to post a link on how to register in the chat. Everyone's welcome to come. Everyone is welcome to come. It doesn't matter if you have CP or not.
That is great. Carrie, do you have any more questions on your end?
Hi there. No, there's no questions here.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions?
Well, yes, I have a question.
Okay.
I don't know if this is the time to mention this or not, but I'm Lillian Westling, and I'm from the Ability Resource Center in Lethbridge, and I'm one of the people across Alberta who runs a Toastmasters club that is for people with disabilities. One of the things that we advocate within the club is that you learn how to be able to stand up for yourself. You learn how to approach the different people that you have to approach in a way that they will realize that you know what you're talking about. And unfortunately, a lot of times that doesn't always happen. So before COVID started, we were just concentrating on the people within Lethbridge. But because of Zoom and everything, we have a Toastmasters meeting every Wednesday morning between 10:30 in the morning and 11:45 that we'd like to put an invitation out to anybody who might be interested in learning leadership skills and communication skills could contact us and become part of this Toastmasters thing. Now, I know that there is a Toastmasters club in Calgary. I know that there is one in Red Deer, and I know that there is one in Edmonton. So I don't know if they're doing Zoom or not, but if we all reunite, this is one way for us to start getting our messages out in a very, very strong voice, because Toastmasters International is all around the world. I will put my email address information in the chat so that the organizers have it and can get it out to you, so that anybody interested can contact me to get the Zoom information.
Thank you so much, Julia.
We have a question from somebody in the audience wondering how to go about creating a nonprofit organization to advocate. So that is, as far as I know, that is something that you have to do with the registries. You have to register your organization. I encourage people to join organizations that are already going through those processes and have a strong history. We believe that we are stronger together. And there are many organizations in Alberta that you can choose from to partner with. But the direct answer to your question is having to go through the Alberta registries and register as a nonprofit. Kathleen, do you have anything to add to that?
I do. I was just getting set to do that.
Yeah.
It takes several steps and it does take a while to do. The first thing, the first step really is going to the government website for society registry. And the first thing you'll do is to have somebody, you pay them, to look up for you whether the name you want to use is already in use. And the name of your group has to have certain, at least one word in it from a set like society, association, club, one of those, which for ACT made it a whole lot longer. Officially, we are Association of Albertans Advocating for Change Together. It doesn't even fit on our checks. But that is one of those things that is part of the rules. When you go online to the government website for societies, it will tell you what the rules are. But one of the things you will need is a set of bylaws. And they actually have an example of bylaws that you can just fill in a bit of the information and just use their rules, and that's okay. You can always change those later, but at least the rules that they give you with fill in the blank are rules that they would accept. Whereas sometimes you make up other kinds of rules and they have difficulty with it, and that takes extra time. So it takes a while for them to process the information. It takes even more time with with COVID going on because they're kind of backed up. But anyway, so you'll need some money to start with because you have to pay to become registered as a society. Once you're registered, once a year, you need to have an annual general meeting. You need to go over your money and do a money report and a report of who's on your board and send that into the government. They send you a form and you basically send them the stuff back, and that part doesn't cost anything. And that's the real basics of it.
There's a follow-up question as well. It's from Paulette. And she said, how can we get a self-advocacy group in the Northwest, and how do you find allies?
You know, I would say to that, Paulette, I think one of the best ways to do it, you have to start a Facebook page, start a social media campaign where you get some momentum and some excitement behind the idea of a self-advocacy group there. And that could be a really good way to engage people.
Especially connecting with people in your area as well as organizations that may be interested in supporting what you're creating.
Yes, this is Paulette. We did have a self-advocacy group that I was involved years ago, but it seems like I can't seem to find somebody like an ally that would help me to. There is a lady, Tara Patterson, but there's really nobody's doing nothing in the Northwest. And I did develop a Facebook page for the Northwest, and I have been putting in what we've been doing for summits and all that, but I don't really know what else to put on Facebook, and I need assistance to like social media campaign on what Amy was talking about. I need assistance myself.
Yeah, Paula, it's really
Paula.
hard to do it all on your own. I know that the South Region Self-Advocacy Network has put together some materials on how to do different things so that their self-advocates could take on more of those roles. And I'm sure that Anna would share that with you through ACT because we're all in that group together.
Okay, because I know for years I've been involved in self-advocacy for years with the summits and all that, and I did develop a self-advocacy group. I taught self-advocacy, but I'm getting very discouraged.
Yeah, it's really hard
Paulette.
to go on your own.
Paulette, I've got a message from a woman named Margot, and she's asking what part of the Northwest.
Okay, I used to live in Grand Prairie, and that's where I started all my advocacy stuff. But I moved to High Prairie. So the Northwest, I believe it's High Prairie, Slave Lake, Peace River, Grand Prairie. But I'm not sure what other, Slave Lake, probably.
Paulette, it's Margot calling, and we've known each other for 25 years.
Hi, Margot. You're
Right?
the Margot.
That Margot. So Paulette, I'm going to put my phone number in the chat box because we have contact with High Prairie, Slave Lake, Grand Prairie, and that district.
Okay.
I've got a few people for you to contact. Thanks. Nice to see you, Paulette.
Nice to see you too, Margot. Thank you.
That was a great connection.
That was.
Small world.
It certainly is. Did you also have something else you wanted to bring up, Margot, or was your hand up just to talk about that?
My hand was up to talk to Paulette, but I can't seem to put anything into the all text box. So I'm just going to send my phone number to Amy, and I have to leave the call. And if you could pass that on to everybody.
Margot, if you send it to me, I can put it out to everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Either or could have done that. Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? I don't have you on here either, Carrie.
I'm under Ask Me
Just send it to Amy because Amy's name is under the co-host list.
Okay, I got it.
Thank you, Margot. I have another question for Paulette. From Moses, it says, can you ask Paulette if the group involved with AACT? Thank you.
I'm not too sure if the group alone, because there hasn't been a self-advocacy group for a couple of years now. But I've been trying to form a self-advocacy group for quite a while. But like I said, I need an ally, I need a support, because when I had a self-advocacy group years ago and all that, I'm the one that did everything by myself, and I'm finding that I need help.
That's good information to put out, Paulette. It's really important, especially when you're starting up a community like this, to make sure that
Since I've been involved with self-advocacy, this is my passion, and I don't want to lose the momentum around the Northwest, because we all are involved. And I know I've been finding with Lethbridge, Calgary, Edmonton, and the other places, they got agencies that focus on self-advocacy alone, and that's where the success is. But for us in the Northwest, we don't have an agency. I could form an agency, but I need support.
Paulette, Moses has said that they are willing to help you. Can you send me an email address that maybe I can pass along to them?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, can you send it in the chat and I'll pass it on to Moses for you?
I don't, oh, there you are. Okay, we'll do right now.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Group creation and
Oh, this
action.
is great. This is amazing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Just remember us when you get it off the ground, Paulette.
Okay. Because like I said, I do have a Facebook page, and I've been putting the summits on there, but I'm trying to focus on what else I could put on there to create people to join.
Well, and I also think that this things like video conferencing has given us a much better opportunity to knowing that all the self-advocacy communities in Alberta can really work together to help each other out in these sort of opportunities, and that this
Yes,
is
because I know I used to work with PDD, it's now Disability Services, and I'm part of another project with ACT, and I did send a message, an email regarding self-advocacy. We need to start one. We want to cut contact with Zoom and other things, but nobody seems to return my emails or phone calls. So I'm just getting discouraged about this.
Hey, Paulette, I am now going to send your email address to Moses, and hopefully you guys can connect.
Okay, thank you so much.
One of the great things right now is that you don't have to connect with just people in your town. You can connect with people all over the province. Sometimes it makes the issues bigger, but it's also nice because we learn about what is the same in different places and what's different in different places. That's one of the things that we like about ACT, because we're a provincial self-advocacy network.
And that's what I've been trying to do also, is try to find somebody that is passionate with self-advocacy and wants to make changes and have a difference, but I don't know which way to go.
Yeah, it's challenging.
Moses has a question, and their hand is up.
I have a question.
Hi, this is regarding to Paulette. I'm more than happy to assist with the groups that you're trying to create. So you can, I have your email address, so I'll definitely email you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I also just want to let people know that ASL interpreter Deb Russell will be leaving at 2 p.m. But if you want to stay on and continue asking questions, we are here till 2:30.
Thank you, Deb.
Yes, thank you.
All right. So do we have some further questions? Has there been any hands showing up?
There's nothing so far.
Okay.
I just have a question. Did anybody get Margot's email or phone number? Because I didn't get it.
Margot is the executive director at VAD, so we can get that information.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I didn't know if it was the same person.
Yeah.
There is a question here.
Yes.
How do I find established advocacy groups in Ponoka in my area? Julia, you might have an answer to this. I have great ideas I want to do in the town, and Ponoka Family and Community Support Services contacted this person to work and gave them grant papers, and she doesn't have an organization. So Julia, you're in central area. Is that something that you can be useful with?
Yeah, I can put my email and phone number in the chat as well.
Okay. If you
I
could
can
send that to me, I will send it to her.
I can also put my phone number in the chat as well.
Okay, perfect.
Paulette, Sophia, the host, has just sent me the phone number, so I will send that to you right now.
Okay, thank you.
Email.
And for anybody while we're here, if there's anybody who's spoken up and you want to send them your information, you do have the option of just sending it through one of our moderators and telling them who you want it sent to through the chat board.
Yeah, we do try to protect people's privacy on this because it is being recorded and being put up.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Margaret, we will edit out your contact information from the recording so that it's not.
I appreciate that. I guess I was kind of desperate wanting to get a hold of Lillian, so I.
That's okay. That's okay.
Okay. Can I quickly ask who was it in Ponoka?
This person's name is Marilyn.
Okay. I will track her down.
Okay, are there any other questions or comments?
Hi, my name is Brad.
Yeah.
Hello, Brad.
I just want everybody to have a merry little Christmas and to stay safe.
Thank you, Brad. You too.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like we have a question.
I have a
I'm
question.
assuming.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Amy.
Sorry. I'm assuming that this question is geared towards AACT. But this person says, what can this group do to teach and support people with disabilities to apply for employment independently? By this, I mean understanding their skills, interests, accomplishments, strengths, and barriers to employment, and the like.
Okay.
I don't know if you're referring to AACT, but I would say that Voice of Albertans with Disabilities might be more geared to helping you with something like that. Would I be right on that, Kathleen?
There's actually a comment here from the same person, Amy, and they want to know if you want to talk to people about the new Gateway app about employment. You or Heath?
The
Because
new employment app?
Yes.
I'm directly involved with that. Yeah, so Gateway Association in Edmonton is working on an application for smartphones right now, which will help people with disabilities build skills and learn about ways to find employment, and also helping them learn new things and new skills, especially in the online world. It's still in the development stages, but there is a Facebook group, the name of which I do not have offhand. I'm a little bit on the spot here. Give me 1 second. The name of the Facebook group is called Gateway to Digital Citizenship. And you can join that group no matter where you are in Alberta, and you can give feedback and opinions on what you would like to see in this app. And you can also learn more about the app through this group. So it's on Facebook, so check that out as well.
The name of it is Gateway to Digital Citizenship.
Yep.
Did Gateway and SAF split from each other?
We are No, we are separate entities. We used to rent space at Gateway, but they are allies of the SAF.
Okay.
Yes, and Heath and I both hit on the Gateway Association board, so we wear a different hat from what we do with the SAF.
I didn't bring a third hat.
I didn't bring any hat.
Oh, well, then I guess I'm okay.
Okay, are there any more questions, comments, inquiries? Oh,
I noticed that Rafina said that if you want to receive resources on how to connect, to send Rafia your email address now so that she can add you to the emailing list.
Plus,
I have another question from Philip saying, might there be a need to include career development into the group? If you're referring to Gateway, that is part of what they do. They do career development.
there's also that we did a summit a little while ago on that also included employment, in which case we also have resources down from that as well. And it's also one of our videos that's on YouTube. Which you can either access through YouTube or you can find it on our Facebook page.
If you go to the summit page on the AlbertaACT.com website, you'll find links to each of the YouTube videos that were recordings from our events. The one from last week, we removed all the names from it because of the topic, but the other ones you can see who it is that's talking easily enough.
Thank you, Kathleen.
You're welcome, Heath.
I know, well.
I have a question. There's a question here. Is AACT partnered with municipalities and private sectors?
No, as a matter of fact, AACT does not have an agency behind it. AACT normally doesn't have any staff. We have project staff right now because we've got a project going on. But we don't get any money from the government. We're not a registered charity so that we can advocate freely as much as we want. And all of our money comes from, generally speaking, from our people becoming members. A membership costs $5 a year, and this is a good time to become a member. You get 4 newsletters with that will tell you what is happening all over the province as much as we can, as well as what we are doing. We talk to government. We try to get them to listen to not just our little group, but all of us. So for instance, with the AACT session that we had last week, it was important for us to have as many people as possible on that so that we could share with the government what people think, their ideas, and so on.
We have another question about how does our advocacy support Aboriginal First Nation people in our area? So as you know, people who live on First Nations do not receive PDD supports. They have their supports through the federal government. I think this might be a question that our disability advocate could answer. Do you think, Kathleen?
We could see if he's willing.
Tony, are you willing to answer that question on how we reach First Nations people, Aboriginal First Nations people? or if they're not living on reserve, but they are still Indigenous, is there any specific supports from the provincial government to help with advocacy?
First of all, to your first question, one of the things that I haven't really worked on yet is really the First Nation. Unfortunately, this again, capacity issue, and I apologize. I have a huge mandate, and these first 2 years, really, I'll be honest with you, I'll be really consumed within the Ministry of Community and Social Services, and that's one of my agenda, is to spread my wings, building working relationship with the First Nations. I have in the South, when I visited last March in the South, I stopped by at Siksika First Nation, and it was really a wonderful experience. But I still yet a lot of work to do in terms of building working relationship with First Nation. Your second question in terms of advocacy support for First Nation outside of the reserve, they have to go through, I would think they would have to go through similar process as everyone, as Kathleen had provided information earlier, or an understanding of process when you're outside of the reserve. But I really encourage everyone. Recently I was the one who asked about does AACT has partnership with municipalities and private sectors and other sectors, really First Nation, and the reason why I asked this question, because every time I attended this webinar with AACT, it's pretty, you guys are pretty solid, I think bringing everyone to you don't have to create another one. I like what Carrie suggested earlier. It's no need to create another one if you have the same agenda. And I think if you come together as one, I think there's stronger leverage to be more influential and more powerful. So that's, in my personal opinion, or professional opinion, I would strongly suggest that just come together. AACT is a pretty solid, but I'm willing to support this group really to start working with private sectors, with municipalities, because it's not just government programs or issues that we need to bring forward, but actually there's a bigger systemic issues that we need to address, societal systemic issues. It's another agenda, but again, whether or not you guys are willing to do that, I'm just suggesting, because I'm quite encouraged about the energy that you guys exude at these summits. So yeah, it humbles me. It just makes me just little like this. So yeah. Anyway.
We do a lot of our work through our member organizations. I mean, they don't hold a membership. We don't have that, but a lot of the work is at the ground level with groups like SAF, based in Edmonton, Disability Action Hall, based in Calgary, South Region Self-Advocacy Network, based throughout the South. Each of those groups has members who are from First Nations, and the self-advocacy groups, while centered on disability, try to be as inclusive as possible and to learn from our First Nations members, not only how to be inclusive, but how to support. We learn all kinds of things from them. And also we would certainly any of those groups would certainly meet with First Nations groups right now on Zoom and have a conversation a little similar to this about things to do, how to organize, whatever it is that and find out what issues we share in common that we might want to work on together. So that would probably be the way to do it. If you can get, those who are in the First Nations groups, if you can find anyone else that wants to meet with us on Zoom along with you, we could certainly help to, have those conversations. And also those groups that are based in the larger centers are very, very open to having you come to our meetings on Zoom. Distance is no problem. Oh, Tony, you need to mute.
Before COVID, I was traveling, and I made sure that I visited friendship centers, and also I've also met groups like the Health Consortium on Jordan's Principle, programs related to children, indigenous children. So but I must admit, that's one of the things that I need to work hard on. Culturally as well, I really made an effort to reach out to the indigenous community, and I need to be invited. Really, I've introduced myself. I need to be invited into their communities to build that working relationship. So at the same time, I'm asking everyone if you guys know how to connect me with the First Nations or anyone who has connection. Please introduce me, because that's still an area that I need to build a relationship with.
Thank you very much, Tony. Brad, did you want to say something?
No.
Okay. So we have about 7 minutes left. I'm just wondering if there's any final questions or comments.
I just think we need to be more inclusive of all people, including the Indigenous and immigrants with disabilities.
Yeah, I would echo that, Brad, and I would also especially in the lens of the Indigenous community, is actually putting in extra effort to being culturally respectful of how their traditions and practices are, so that we can actually develop a better relationship by following their lens and not trying to impose anything from what we have, because that's not the purpose.
Absolutely.
Carrie, do you have any more questions on your end? You want to take your silence as a no?
Sorry, I've been talking to myself and I'm muted, but no, Amy, there's no hands up and there's no other comments in the chat.
Okay, perfect.
The question is, though, when you were talking to yourself, did you agree with yourself?
Me, myself, and I. Yes, absolutely. We had a.
Rofia would like to know Tony's contact information. Tony, would you be able to send Rofia in the chat your contact information?
Yeah, someone asked for it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Send it. I can send it to the person.
Yeah,
I will send it to Carrie. I don't know how to manage this, but I will send it to Carrie. Is that okay, Carrie?
Yeah, it's okay.
That's not
Absolutely.
Kelly, but
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
As long as it's getting out there. Excellent. It also looks like we got another link for the International Human Rights Day on the 10th. And here there is an event hosted by Action Dignity. And the Eventbrite.
Just thinking about you. What's your address?
Brad was just on the phone, so I defeated him.
Ah, excellent. Thank you.
I've put the advocate's email and phone number in the group chat.
Thank you, Karen.
I just
Hello.
wanted to mention that to those who are still on that if you've got some kind of a problem, the disability advocate is a good person to call. He's got a
You want me to unmute?
right at getting things done, so he can help.
Thanks, Kathleen.
All right. Well, I think that means we're probably starting up the closing, my fellow MC.
Yeah. Give me half a second here. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. That concludes our afternoon and our summit series for 2020. We want to thank you for joining us today and for joining all of our summits. We would also like to thank our interpreters, captioners, and organizers of this summit session. And we want to send a huge thank you to FCSS Calgary, whose grant made this summit series possible.
We would also like to remind you that you can watch the recording of this, as well as previous summits on the AACT YouTube channel, or you can find it on the AACT website at www.albertaact or Alberta Act in all one word, no spaces.com. And have a very Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays.
Happy holidays. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.